This week, I have wondered why certain people find it so difficult to say Black Lives Matter. I find it difficult to understand people with such a large platform who don't use that to show support for Black lives that are being put at risk. And I question people who discuss diverse reading and being inclusive, but that inclusivity seems to disappear the moment that such global events are happening that emphasise the risk that Black lives face daily just by stepping outside of their own home, even just by existing in their own home. This week has emphasised that there really is no such thing as a safe space, so I question why so many people talk about trying to cultivate safe spaces online. The internet is meaningless. It is there, it allows people to communicate with one another and band together, but at the end of the day, it isn't physical. This week, I have seen more people determined to educate themselves. And what I would like to see from those people, myself included, is that the education that you are doing, you actually put into action. That you have difficult conversations with people, that you recognise some of the opportunities that you might have realised because of the colour of your skin, because you're white. These difficult conversations might see you lose friends, they might see you lose family members or lose connections with people. But personally, I question whether you need those people in your life anyway. There will always be the question as to why we didn't show up earlier, why we didn't use our privilege sooner, why it took the murder of a Black man and the subsequent murders of other Black people in America, of other Black people worldwide, why it took the violence for us to step up and say that that is wrong. At this moment in time, we can apologise all we like, and the thing is that you don't deserve forgiveness, you don't deserve accreditation, you don't deserve anything for being a good human being and using your privilege, your white privilege, as a means to improving the lives of Black people. Actions speak louder than words, and whatever you learn from these books that have sold out the world over, discussing racism and the way it's great that these books discussing the Black Lives Matter movement and discussing how to be an anti-racist have all sold out. And if you read them and you take in, you digest everything that is said within those texts, then it is great. But I ask that then what you learn is put into action. This isn't something that you learn at school and you forget about. This isn't something that is trendy this week for you to jump on the bandwagon of and then forget about when it's no longer important and the next celebrity needs cancelling. This is something that you're going to have to take in, and it's not just going to be something that you learn in a week from one book. It is going to take constant learning, and you need to keep supporting Black creators. It's not enough to subscribe to Black booktubers, follow Black Instagrammers. It's not enough to follow them all over the internet using social media if you aren't engaging with their work, if you aren't listening. George Floyd was murdered last week, and people behave as though each death and each murder is just one singular event. They don't behave as though this is something that is happening every single week. I have seen people show more outrage at cruelty towards animals. I have seen people show more outrage to the idea that Khloe Kardashian might have had a baby with the guy who cheated on her than I have seen for the murder of black people, the continued violence towards black lives, the way that racial prejudices work so that black lives aren't even able to find homes or find jobs. If you call yourself an ally and you aren't doing something to actively change the lives of black people worldwide in future, then I'm not really sure what the point of you being here is. As adults, we have a responsibility to stop talking about educating ourselves and actually do so. I will leave a short list of resources in the description for you to go and look at. But please don't rely on the work of others. Search for media and creators and petitions. Write to your MPs and have difficult discussions. Call out racism where you see it and use your white privilege to protect black lives. We can call for a change in the curriculum so that our children are educated on how the British Empire damaged black lives and how it didn't stop with the abolition of slavery. Educate yourselves, and if you have children, see that they are educated as well, but then put that education to good use. Black Lives Matter. That is all.